What's up, y'all? Peace, peace. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, y'all. Come on in. Let's talk about it, y'all. I was kind of talking about this last night. On how people had to strengthen their lie. The lie has to be, you know, the lie is not something that stays the same. The truth only remains the same. So for many years, people have preached Christ as a flesh and blood person. But now, since the lie is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, they have turned Christ into a spirit to validate their lie. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's see if we can bring clarity. That's what we're here for. We're here for the clarity. Now, if you don't want the clarity, you ain't got to get it. You don't have to get the clarity if you don't want it. But if you want it, we got it. We got it, y'all. So we're here to bring the clarity. So y'all come on in, share the live for me, share the live, and see if we get some good conversation in here. I think too many times people want to talk about the problem, but they don't want to do nothing about the problem. Everybody want to talk about the problem, but really don't want to do nothing about the problem. It's some people go to sleep and wake up to talk about the problem. That's crazy, ain't it? You go to sleep and then you wake up to talk about the problem. And you ain't got no solution. Will a man gain the world, lose his soul, y'all? Everything was for the appointed time, y'all. Everything was for the appointed time. So all these stories that we done heard about for these many, many generations, it's finally coming to light. So y'all come in, y'all share the live, man. So get some algorithm going. I'll play a little tunes right quick, y'all. From NK Rebel. NK Rebel, y'all. Niggas Kingdom gonna be the nation if you ain't know it.
Niggas Kingdom gonna be the nation if you Niggas Kingdom gonna be the nation if you ain't know it. Elephant shaking, the room is breaking cause we exposing. Got no more patience, your time is wasting, we quickly growing. Unite to save them.
We walk in the path that's forward.
The king is risen, begin the end of a lot is trending. The intention, create completion, answer the vision. And now you tripping cause you ain't listen to mind your business. Get up and spill out your cook.
Then go be the witness.
Know what the deal is, you missed it again, see what happened. Oh, it is okay, cause we got you, all you need is a napkin. It be like, new tastes, that's how you know we snapping. Back in the place for the go asking for some rap. Gather all the corners, put them together and make a brick. Oh, it in the ocean, watch all the water turn into spit. Not go with my lip, cause they poison and all the little kids. Stop the events where they sacrifice the new kids. Got the strength to get up and make it out through the day. Every of the sick, give it up if you wanna live, you pay. Did to make a move to be free, born into the land we stay. Ashes be left of the place called the USA. Not gon' sleep to the beat, stop and let the people out. If you agree, come with us, move your feet and close your mouth. Life and let wait, talk the states, ain't gon' see nothing. I don't know where to go. Come on, we head this out.
Come on, y'all. Come on, come on. So if you're coming in, y'all share the live so we can get, this algorithm going. They don't let me stay on the For You page for too long. So if you is in the live, y'all share the live, push the algorithm out. Like I was saying, y'all, I said this last night, Christ have been turned into a spirit to validate the lie that people is telling. When it comes to deception, when it comes to darkness, it has nothing but a short time. You see, many people are awakening. This was written. This was written that God's spirit was going to be poured out on all the earth. It says the earth will be full of the Lord's knowledge as the waters cover the sea. You see what I'm saying? So now, with all this getting, understanding is almost like another word for order. Because when you understand something, you know how to place your steps. You know how to move. If you don't understand, you're not going to know how to move. So you're going to be out of order. Because you simply didn't understand. But when you understand, you know how to conduct yourself. You know how to control yourself when you understand something. So understand is another word for order. So we got all this information, but it ain't no order. It ain't no structure. To what? Bring understanding to what we have. But it is a mass awakening. The world has never been this awakened. People have never been in this much knowing, But like I say, sometimes when you have too much, you don't value what you really have because you got so much. You can't value so much. So it's hard for people to value this precious information that's in the earth. So this was prophesied that it was going to be, it had, like I say, it has never been a world awakening. And nowhere in history where the world has been in a mass awakening. Y'all study history, you look in the past, people was always what? In the dark. Everybody didn't have access to books. Everybody couldn't go to the library. Now what? Everybody in the world, majority of the world, majority rules, majority of the world has access to any book, internet. Majority of this, like I say, the world has never been this open. So you talk about this mass awakening, y'all. We always speaking on the order, but I'm saying all that to show you darkness, time is up. It has but a short time. Like the Bible say, the devil has but a short time. Because at the time was coming where nothing was going to be hidden. Nothing was going to be hidden. So when the Bible talks about the devil has but a short time, you got stuff like this coming out. Christ is spirit. Now, all our lives, nobody ever, they got pictures of the man. How did he this turn to a spirit? Now the book say Christ received the spirit. The book say Christ say the words I speak of spirit. The Bible say God is spirit, but now Christ is a spirit. Well, let's talk about why Christ is a spirit. Because people now have to validate where they're getting their information from. And see, people been preaching about their idols. They've been preaching about the golden calf so long. They haven't been really preaching about God. They've been preaching about who? Jesus. Like most people didn't preach about God. They preached about Jesus. So when they preached about Jesus, this is where what? The disciples got their information from. So this is where what? They get their information from. Christ is the one that died for their sins. Christ did it. God ain't do it. So when you think about the lie and how it has been cast down, because I talk about how the devil has been cast down. Satan has been brought down. Satan has been defeated. That's why it really wasn't a defeat. It was Satan trying to test Christ to what? Make him not speak the truth. But once Christ passed that test, then what? Satan immediately was cast down. Because he know and he recognized the truth is here that's about to expose everything. So that's why I say the devil has now come with you with great wrath. You see people day in and day out, they not trying to fix the problem. They bringing more confusion to the problem. That's part of what? Deception. To keep you confused, to keep you not knowing, to keep you wondering. That's what all deception does. So you see people wake up every day to bring more confusion. They don't have no solutions to fix the problem. They complaining, they condemning, and they laughing. Now, what did Satan come to do? Kill, steal, and destroy. Now, I just talked about the thieves and robbers. They stealing what? God prophecy. To create their topics that bring more confusion. They want to destroy everything. They want to destroy God. They want to destroy Christ. They want to destroy historical information. They just destroy you. They don't care. This is the devil. And they come with great wrath because this is something that they have dedicated their time to. To what? Bring more confusion. And like I say, see, everybody try to talk about this devil, and nobody ever really pointed out that, and we can say it's us, but everybody ain't the devil. They got everybody is the devil and everybody is God. No, that's just cop-out information. That's just because I don't know, I'm gonna say something that just fit. Yeah, like it don't fit, but I'm gonna put it there because it looked like it fit. Everybody is not the devil and everybody is not God. The devil, I never transformed myself into an angel of light. I never went out teaching people as if I knew something. I never did that. I never played the role of a devil. I never been a devil. Never. So a lot of people try to, again, say things that just, again, keep us in the middle. Everybody does not play the role of a devil, and everybody does not play the role of a God. But the devil is someone that has transformed their self. God didn't transform them. Christ didn't do it. They did it themselves into an angel of light and exalted it themselves over the children of God. But when the truth comes, they high horse or they schools of thought will be towed down. They will be brought down to the ground. And remember, a lot of people understand when Satan is brought down, Satan is dwelling on earth with great wrath. Like I said, I know we don't see it the way we need to see it. That's why sometimes I just repeat myself because I know we do not see, what's truly going on at this appointed time. We really don't see y'all, But that's what we're here to do. We're here to open your eyes. We're here to put the truth that's gonna bring healing to your eyes. It's gonna bring healing to your ears. Them crippled legs when you ain't want to stand up, it's gonna make you stand up. You're not gonna be crippled no more. You're not gonna be afraid to stand up for your rights. Right now, we're dealing with a generation of people that's afraid to stand up for their rights. So we settle. We settle for the money they print. That's what we're doing. We settling for the money they print. This bigger than money. Why we can't print money? That's bigger than making money. See, people always say, well, think big. But our thinking big is dealing with what? The money they print. Our thinking big, not building a nation, establishing a kingdom, establishing world power. We're not talking about that. Our cap is money. We want $1 billion. We want, freedom come with understanding, man. Like, everything has a government. The stars, the sun, the moon don't shine its light the same time the sun shines its light. We see that today now. I want to know if that's something that's been going on all our life. I can't say because I don't know, but You know, it's everything has order, man. You know, everything has its order. You know, and that's what we have to get back to. That's the true freedom. Right now, we don't have freedom because everything is out of order. You know, redemption comes from being redeemed from lies. You know, we have to be redeemed from the mind frame, the lies that we are a part of. That's how we receive redemption. Christ is a fisherman of men. Christ gonna pull us out of the watered down information. The truth gonna pull us out of the watered down information. So it ain't just gonna be, you know, like I said, I guess I don't know how people think justice and all this stuff is gonna come on earth. That's why we believe in spaceships and aliens and, you know, the sky cracking, the moon, you know, like we believe in so much because we don't understand that this world is the way it is because of us. Change come through us. Freedom come through us. Redemption come through us. Salvation come through us. You know, that's why I say it's what? Jacob is the battle axe of God. So if you don't understand, we're going to be the small axe. This system is the big tree. And last time I checked, a small axe can chop down a big tree. But like I say, this food for thought have to be given to you. You have to partake in this supper, or you won't truly stand up for your rights. People not standing up. We standing up for financial gain. That's what we take and stand for. That's what majority of the people are taking a stand for. Now, I don't take away from the financial gain. Financial freedom is beautiful, but we can truly have financial freedom if we set up a government. It's just that simple. You have a way faster financial freedom because financial freedom is not hustling for 20 years. You see what I'm saying? That's not financial freedom. And when you're dealing with most financial freedom, you have to rob the poor to get rich. The way people get financial freedom is by robbing the poor. Now, luckily in these times, we have many different ways to move. But when you're talking about old money, it's from robbing the poor. You know, old money is robbing the poor. That's why the righteous kingdom, or when you says the kingdom of Christ is not of this world. See, that's what I'm on. That's the aliens y'all been waiting on. But when they show up, you don't want to talk to them. You know, you really don't want to get on no spaceship because you ain't seen it. You want to get on something you seen already. You want to get on something you thought about already. You don't really want to get on you don't really want to talk with the aliens. You know, you want the facade. You know, so like I say, when you're dealing with y'all financial freedom, a government provides money. A government prints money. So it's better to print the money than make the money. Now, of course, everybody ain't gonna print money. But again, this is the mind frame of the leaders. This is the mind frame we should be in. But we are not in this mind frame. That's why we can be bought and we can be sold. But that's why, and we go back to the supper. The information is what we need to what? Take a stand against the system. Nobody can argue that. Everybody you look around, they all have changed because of certain information they got. You wasn't always a Hebrew. You wasn't always a Muslim. But you got certain information and it changed you. It made you the person you are. So information is everything. Information is important. Very important. So the Last Supper, that's why I so talked about. It was very important. The Last Supper was very important. Because what? The Last Supper was going to bring the change to the world. The food for thought. The appointed feast days, huh? Give me 1 second, y'all. So the appointed feast days, y'all, we can see why Moses spoke about the appointed feast days. It's very important, y'all. It's the appointed feast days is everything. And one thing that Moses said that we was gonna have to get rid of our bread. I know back then we was little. We had this place called Golden Corral. And we knew it was all you can eat, right? So we ain't eat nothing. We ain't eat nothing. He said, when we get to Golden Corral, we eating everything. We not eating nothing. We not eating no breakfast. We not eating nothing. Because we going to all you can eat buffet. So that's that same analogy when Moses said, get rid of all your bread. Get rid of all your bread out your houses. Because God finna prepare a supper for you. So the truth is almost like your favorite dish. It's like a dish that you crave. If you love God, you love the truth. It's something you crave. So if you know it's all you can eat, is you gonna fill yourself up before you go get a chance to eat your favorite dish? You gonna fill yourself up? And this is what people are filling themselves up. So when they come to God's table, you might taste something, but you're really not gonna eat it. So you never gonna with what? That food for thought. You might get that idea, but then the idea gonna wither off because of all the rest of the bread you ate. See, a lot of people are eating a lie. I'm talking about eating it, digesting it, waking up and going to eat it again. Because what? Most people are afraid of change. It's almost like, I'm trying to find a good word for it. Well, I guess why the Bible say train a child up in the way as it go. It's like once you train somebody for something. So if you've been doing something for so long, it's almost like training. Now it becomes second nature. So now you don't want to change. You don't want to. And then, especially change, and you really don't know what's on the other end. Most people don't, that. So we listen to find something that make us feel comfortable. We are listening to be comfortable. But like I tell people, you don't work out for comfort. You don't work out for to be comfortable. You work out to rip your body. You work out to look good. You want it to burn. You want it to hurt. Oh, that's what the truth is. But what? It's going to have you in shape. The truth going to shape your mind. It's going to put your mind in shape. It might burn. It might hurt. It might have you sweating. It might have you feel like, oh man, I don't want to dress tomorrow. But what? Don't you want to feel good? Don't you want to look good? So if you want your true mind to be in shape, it's not something that's going to be comfortable. The truth is not here to pacify you. It's here to make you better. The lie is here to pacify. And see, people have been pacified with this lie for so long, they want the truth to pacify them. That's why we say, man, you want the truth? You want the raw and uncut? Yeah, you want the raw and uncut. Raw and uncut. And most people don't want that right now. They want some pacifier, something they can suck on, and what? Make them comfortable. But that's not I know that's not when it comes, how would I say it? Like, because when I received the truth, I can't say it rocked me like a lot of people, because like I said, I didn't do a lot of sins a lot of the people did. I didn't go out and proclaim myself as an angel of light. When I came to God, I said I didn't know nothing. And I meant that. So I came to God as a child. The same thing. That's why I say the same things that I tell people I've done. I'm not telling you nothing I haven't done. But most people can't wholeheartedly say they don't know. They read a book. I didn't read a book before I came to God. So when I received the truth, I can't really just put myself in everybody's shoes. But it was a workout. It was something that I had to really like, damn. I'm gonna keep doing it though. I'm gonna keep pushing. But it was something that's like, this is. But in my spirit, I felt happy. I felt free. I felt a relief. I felt burdens coming off me. You know, because of what? The truth. But, you know, matter of fact, I'll read it. Then and see, this is why I bring this out in Daniel, that a lot of people don't know this about the truth and the true awakening that's happening in the earth. That's why it's better to know God prophecy, because this gonna truly open, you know, your mind. It's gonna truly open your eyes. But if you go to Daniel 12, because I tell everybody you got two awakenings when the truth enters the earth. You got awakening of joy, peace, like I say, burdens. Then you got this awakening where it's a nightmare because of what you have done, because of what you have said. So because people have said the wrong things, when they hear the truth, it's a nightmare. They do what Adam did. They hide. Because this voice makes them afraid. So when you go to Daniel 12, this is why I always read this. If you go to Daniel 12 and 2, it says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life. Again, that's that inner happiness you can't even explain. It's just something that's unexplainable. You know, that's why, again, it's everlasting life. It's something that's from within. And some to shame and everlasting contempt. Now, just as you're going to have everlasting contempt, you're going to have everlasting life. Because we get this everlasting life like we're not going to go on the ground. That's a part of life. You know, that's a part of life. You know, so you see these two awakenings, some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So when I got this truth, I didn't have no shame at all. Now, one shame I did have is I had to speak it. I was like, I don't know how to say this. How am I? Because how am I, you know, going to say this to a world that think like this? So I was ashamed. That's the only shame that I got once I realized, because, you know, when you first receive the truth, the first people you're gonna tell is your loved ones, your friends, the people that's around you. Because I ain't got no shame. I tell my boy anything. Shit, I ain't got no skeleton in my closet. So when it come to my boys, when it come to my family, my people that I know, I could tell them anything. I wasn't tripping on that. That was easy. That was the easy part. I was screaming on the mountain to my family and friends. But when I had to come tell y'all, when I had to speak to the world, that's when I was like, I'm a little ashamed about that now. Because, you know, I was taught that, you know, you carry yourself a right way. You know, you don't be in the streets loud. You don't bring, you know, because you got to be, unless you, whatever you talking, that's what you standing on. Like my mom was always, don't bring shame. Don't bring no shame to my house. Don't bring no shame to my door. Don't bring no shame to yourself. That's just how I was raised. So when I found out I had to speak this to the world, and yeah, I was a little ashamed. I was like, oh shit, you know. Then, you know, I ain't no speaker anyway. I ain't never signed up to be no public speaker. So that's the only kind of little shake I had when it came to the truth. You know, I had to be the one to tell it. That's it. Other than that, joy, happiness, freedom, you know, it's almost like, you know, you found $1 million and, you know, you found what you've been looking for all your life. That's really what the truth is. That's why the truth is an everlasting life. That's why when you have the awakening is you're awakening to everlasting life. You're not awakening to waiting for some man to come out the sky. You're not awakening to join a religion. You're not awakening to even read no book. You know, it's not about awakening to be studying a book. That all this is captive. All this is captivity. Going to your church, getting on your knees, going to the mosque, wearing fringes, going worship feast days. All that's still captivity. Once you truly wake up to the truth, you have everlasting life. You don't do nothing but grow. That's what the truth is. The truth. That's why I say the truth sets you free. We don't have the truth. That's why we still in religion. That's why we still on our knees. That's why we still studying books. I can't tell you when the last time I actually read. Now, I used to read because I used to talk to, I was to try to find a way to make it crystal clear talking to people. Because like I tell people, I still haven't read the whole Bible. Still to this day, I have not read the whole Bible. Most of when I read the Bible was so I could speak clear to other people about what they're in. It's almost like jumping in their water, you know, to get used, you know, to what I'm in. You know, so it was never about really reading the Bible, you know, just to say, well, that's why, again, I was set free. So I didn't have to keep studying the Bible. I didn't have to go to church. I didn't have to go to a temple. I didn't have to get on my knee. I didn't have to go to no feast days. These things are still a part of captivity. You know, so when you really deal with it, like I say, y'all, the truth that's being spoken, man, and it's true awakening, you really will be awakened to life, which is freedom, liberty, happiness, and growth. That's the most important thing, growth. If you're not growing, you don't have the truth. You don't have the truth, you know. And that's where we lost at. That's where we are truly lost at. So, like I said, I went into Daniel 12 just to show people about the two awakenings that's happening in the world. Just because the truth is in the world, it don't mean everybody's going to be happy. It's a lot of shame on a lot of people when they hear this truth. It's a lot of shame. You never did any biblical feast days. I am the feast day. Well, how can I do something when I am the feast day? The feast days is when God feed the people. It's not when you go get food from the grocery store. I told a brother before, man, you can't go get God bread from the grocery store. It's impossible to get God bread from the grocery store. It's impossible. God food don't go in a barbecue pit. You know, you can't put God food in a skillet. But it's got, guess what? It's seasoned well, it's cooked well, and what? It's prepared on a silver platter. Which feast days are you? The unleavened bread, the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Dedication, I can't even think of all the feast days right now, but I'm all the feast days, brother. It's all speaking in parables of the truth that's gonna dedicate you. The truth of undefiled food, undefiled bread, bread with no leaven, the unleavened bread, the bread without yeast. That's why you got the Feast of Unleavened. You got the Feast of Tabernacle. Well, what? You go to the meeting place that God has prepared. That's why I say the tabernacles is with men. This is the Feast of Tabernacles. You know, so all these little feast days, man, is talking about, you know, the Last Supper. You know, the many dishes that's gonna, you know, keep you in line with God. That's really that's what the Last Supper is. The Last Supper is the feast days. A lot of us disconnect them, but Moses was writing about Christ. Moses was writing about prophecy. You know, Moses was writing about prophecy. Brother, send me something. But so yeah, y'all, man, it's just y'all. I was just reading a message, so I got a little sidetracked. But yeah, man, it's feast days. So the feast days, man, like I say, it's the Last Supper. That's what Moses wrote about the Last Supper first. You know, it's just something we don't know. That's why we got to be childlike. You know, But let's get into the title, y'all. I was just kind of, talking to get some folks in here. But let's get into the title, y'all. Let's get into the title. Some people say Christ is a spirit, right? But last time I checked, the Bible is about Christ being the seed of David. The Bible is about Christ being the seed of David, but most scholars have turned Christ into a spirit to validate where they get the spirit from. See, Christ don't control God's spirit. That's what it's the way people are revealing and teaching. They are really saying Christ controlled the spirit. No. God controlled the spirit. Christ becomes what? The one that pulls the spirit out because of what? The gift that God has given him, but Christ don't control the spirit. For instance, when Christ asked the disciples, who am I? And Peter say, you are the Son of the living God. And then Christ say, flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you, Peter, but my Father in heaven. And then it also say the Father chose the witnesses. Because the only thing Christ can do is speak the truth. But what? God have to open your eyes. God have to bless you to see. So that's when, again, God controls the spirit. We do not, because if you ask people this, if Christ gave you the spirit, who gonna take it away? Can Christ take the spirit away from you too? After Christ give you the spirit, can Christ take it away? Does Christ have the power to take the spirit away? Christ does not control God's spirit. The way most people are teaching it, they are teaching that Christ controlled the spirit. So Christ is the spirit. Christ is within me. Christ can never be in you. Or if you to meet you halfway, Christ can be in you if you accept Christ's words. But Christ don't have no spirit that can be in you. God can be in you. Christ is no way Christ can be in you in no way, shape, or form. That's like saying Moses was in the people. Moses wasn't in the people. And Moses foretold, if you a Torah reader, God gonna raise up another prophet like him. So Christ gonna be like Moses. Christ is coming at a different time. So for we to sit back and let people turn Christ into a spirit, it shows you how void the world is. It shows you how in darkness the world is. That's what I'm saying. It sounds silly when a man say they're a Messiah because you don't know the Messiah is a high priest. Who is our high priest right now? If you ask the people, who is our high priest? Everybody is the high priest. Well, why is the high priest? Like what that's a level. Everybody on that level. So we can scratch out the word Messiah, but who is our high priest? Crickets. If I was to ask you who is the high priest, you will give me crickets. You know why? Because you don't know. But Messiah is a trigger word. Messiah is a trigger word because you got vain imaginations about it. Since you got vain imaginations about the word Messiah, when someone says it's a trigger word, and what? Man, he calling himself the Messiah. The Messiah is a high priest. The Messiah is a leader among the people. The Messiah is a Moses. The Messiah is going to set the people free. You know, so we have no high priest currently on earth. When Christ was here, he wasn't a priest neither. Okay, well, you against the Bible. If Christ wasn't a priest when he was here, you against the Bible. That's all I'm going to say. You are against the Bible. But because Christ is a high priest. According to the Bible, Christ is a high priest. Okay? This is why the Bible don't teach. Because the Bible teach, everybody should know that, right? Everybody should know Christ is a high priest. If the Bible teach. Christ did not choose to become high priest, Bible verse. Let's go to Hebrews 4. Let's go to Hebrews 4. Let's go to Hebrews 4 and 14. It say what? Seeing that we have a great high priest that is passed unto the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our professions. Jesus was a high priest, not a spirit. Now, this brother say Jesus was never a high priest. The Bible don't teach. Because he should know that. You see what I'm saying? He should know that. So who is our great high priest? Where is he? The Old Testament say, if you don't understand Moses was a high priest, then, you just don't have understanding. But the Bible say God gonna raise up another prophet like Moses, which was talking about what? Christ. So again, that's why the Bible don't teach. So people read it from front to back and still don't what? Still don't know what's in them. So I read a verse where it says Christ was a great high priest, and he said Christ is not a high priest. Well, the Bible must be wrong, according to him. The Bible don't say Christ was a consciousness. Christ was a high priest. You can't go within yourself and be Michael Jordan, no matter how much you try. You can try till you blue. You will never reach that level. Majority of basketball players will never reach Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan level. I don't give a damn what they do, how hard they train. They'll never reach the level. So, the same thing with Christ. It has to be in your destiny. If that's your destiny, yeah, you can reach it. Everybody ain't going to be Michael Vick. No matter how much you try. No matter how much you train, you ain't going to be Vick if it's not your destiny. If it ain't your destiny to run fast, you ain't going to run fast. Everybody don't run fast. It's not their destiny. Everybody don't become Christ. It's not their destiny.
Oh, what's up, man? How you?
What's going on? Peace.
What's up, man? We talked a couple times before. Like I said, I love what you're doing because it's positive. I think everybody got their own interpretation on things. I'm more like spiritual, so I'm not really on the religious side of things, so I don't really judge. I just wanted to say, so do you remember like at a point in time when we all was in sync with each other, where it was like we all was one at one point in time on this land, correct? And there was nobody, it was like it was nobody that stood out more than somebody else. If you get what I'm saying, it was no like, okay, well, this person is the Messiah or any of this. We all was in sync with one another. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm saying it's up to you, whether you go within self to reach Christ consciousness, it's like I don't put a label on it. I don't see as one person what rise. I just think that is something that they put in the Bible to make us think that it's one man.
Well, when you talk about any kind of revolutionary, right? Everybody wasn't the leaders of the revolution, right?
Say that again.
Everybody wasn't leaders of our revolution. There's never been everybody was the leader of the revolution.
That's
You had a few leaders, but these leaders represented many people. So when it comes to Christ, Christ is a priest. Christ is connected to a priesthood. I think a lot of us don't know that. A lot of us just hear the word and it's a trigger word. But Christ is actually connected to a priesthood. So it's not, and it also got history to it. So it's not the religious history that we've been taught. You see what I'm saying? And Christ is another word for high priest. It's the anointed one. So it's just like anything in life. You have to have a pioneer. You see what I'm saying? Like now, once the pioneer is revealed, it's revealed, you'll have many other creations. And see, this is why numbers don't lie. You got to start with one. If you don't have one, you don't have none. So if you got a Christ consciousness, where's the Christ? So I mean, basically, we can call Christ conscious whatever we want.
so Kyle, I ask a question. With do not worship me, you can be just like me or do better works than me. What does that mean?
But brother, the Bible is written for to talk about a generation that was going to do greater works than the prophets. You see what I'm saying? That's the way the real Bible is. It's not written that somebody said that 2,000 years ago and that was Christ. So we are the generation that's going to do greater works than the people in the Bible. That's all that's saying.
So so the things that I was looking up, like when I was going into the Bible and then I was doing my own research on different things, right? So you know how everybody take the Bible and then they turn it into like people and stuff, right? So when I was looking at the 12 disciples, right? When they was talking about the 12 disciples, they was talking about the zodiac signs. When they was talking about what else? It's many things that they was talking about, but people misinterpreted it and then made it into an actual person when they was talking about it's the thing that's inside of you, like the pineal glands, and all of us can reach a higher level than where we at now.
So if I ask you this, is the police zodiac sign? Do we call them 12?
Say it again.
Is the police the zodiac signs? Because we call them 12. You see what I'm saying? So 12 represent those who enforce the law.
No, so you gotta understand too what these people did. They took good and turned it around. They flipped the script. So it's a lot of things that they took that was good. Like for example, everybody think the Baphomet is bad. Everybody thinks 666 is bad, but 666 is you. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Am I correct?
No, 6. That's why I say the Bible.
You said no.
The
What?
Bible is written for God prophecy and not man wisdom. So
See,
I get.
I think yeah, we're on two different pages. That's
I
why.
know, but
let me, because when you deal with the six, you deal with man. But for man
No,
to
no, no, no,
rise,
no. 666 is you. That's describing you.
that's why
That's the.
I say you're dealing with man. You're dealing with common man. You're dealing with everybody. Everybody is 666. But
But did they not make it?
to be,
But
but
look,
hold
look,
on,
look,
hold
look.
on, hold on, bro,
My
bro.
point to you was, did they not make that
Slow down, bro.
satanic?
Slow down. Because it is, because every common man don't have the truth. It's gonna be the complete man. 7 mean complete, 24/7. So numbers
So the
have,
seven means the seven
brother,
means the seven
slow
chakras,
down,
correct?
brother. Slow down. You have to slow down. 7 mean complete. That's why I say God rested on the 7th day. So 6th day is man falling short of his completeness. Like, to be a leader, you gotta rise above. A common man ain't a leader. A common man is just a common man. It's a natural man. But to be the spiritual man, you have to enter into the 7th. But a lot of our leaders, they haven't entered into the 7th. They are the 6th. So they give you the beast. Because we all have animal nature. Every man, every woman has an animal nature like a beast. So, but a beast is not an upright person. So it's going to be the 7th man. And see, this is why the Bible teach about the second Adam and all these things in the 7th day. So the Bible is speaking to God's prophecy and not man wisdom. So a lot of people mix man wisdom with the prophecy, and it throws off, because the Bible is a prophecy book. It's not a book of wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So when you put your wisdom on a book, it looks foolish. That's not what the book is written for.
I look at it more like the Bible. I look at it more like most people look at it more like physical. I look at it more spiritual. Like, that's the way I look at it. So I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying any of that. But I just know some of the things that I looked up and some of the things that I have gotten is just like, anything that was good, they turned into bad. So that way that they can keep you, which is the black man, from it. So they turn everything satanic. But when we talk about the Bible, I think a lot of our people get lost, and then they do the same thing that these colonizers did. Which, if everybody can reach higher consciousness, or reach a level of just where Yahshua was at, how is it just one man can be the Messiah, or the one that can teach everybody, when everybody can get there?
Brother, a Messiah is dealing with a position and a priesthood. It's not dealing with just a common man. It's a, would I say this? Is everybody a priest?
They
No.
could be, but they could be.
Brother.
Is what I'm saying is they could be.
Listen. If I go in the hood right now and I tell most of my brothers tell me I don't want to be a priest.
Right.
Certain people don't want to be a priest. This is why they will never be a priest.
Right.
What I'm saying. So Christ is a part of a priesthood. It's a title. It's not just something you go within and Kundalini and your third eye. All that's just watered down information. You see what I'm saying? So when you deal with Christ,
so the Bible not neither?
The Bible what?
I said, so the Bible not neither? Ain't it watered down? The Bible more corrupted than anything.
Brother, no, it's the mind of a man that corrupt. The Bible don't tell us nothing. Man picked up the book and told us everything. The Bible didn't say nothing to us, so we got to stop blaming the Bible and blame the people that read.
Look. I'm not saying I'm believing the Bible at all. I'm just saying, I already said I'm on the spiritual side of things. I look within. I don't look at certain things in the Bible and then misinterpret it, or think this, or come up with my own theory on what I think that this is. Only thing I'm saying is that certain things, it's like using your discernment. If you see something and then they put it in a way that you might think that, okay, this is like I said with the 12 zodiac signs. The 12 disciples is the 12 zodiac sign, but they made it into man, which they got Jesus in the middle, which is the sun, correct?
No. Because
so that's not correct.
No, the 12 It's the government that's gonna enforce God's laws. That's who the 12. That's why they're gonna have a star on their chest and they're gonna have flashing lights because they're gonna have enlightenment and they're gonna be enforcing the laws of God. That's why it's 12. And it's zodiac signs because they're gonna rule the higher information. That's so it's not the real. The 12 is not no stars in the sky. The 12 gonna be people, but it's not gonna be like you count the 12. It's gonna be God's government. And this is the 144. This is 12 multiplied. Because that's what God say. He gonna multiply us. And this gonna make up God's government. And they're gonna be with the Lamb, which is the Christ, which is the Son that brought the light. So stuff can grow. So Christ is, when they say Christ is the one that brings the light, Christ brings the image for the other angels. But this is a real story that's going to happen organically. It's not going to happen because you studied. It's going to happen because it's your destiny. And see, so even when we get into the Bible, brother, man, we got to get into the root of these things. I ask you this. In your studies, in your research, where did the Bible actually come from?
The Bible came from the tablets. The tablets, it came from certain things that they had found, and then when they wrote it in the Bible, they switched things around. The Anumian list, they got it from that. They got it from all types of tablets.
Let me tell you something, bro. The Bible comes from Ethiopia.
It wasn't just one source that the Bible came from. That's why a lot of books not in there. They took the book of Enoch out.
Brother, that's why we have to get a foundation before we try to debunk something. Now, I can't agree with you.
No. I'm not debunking anything.
Yes, you.
I'm just telling you what I have researched.
I know
that's what I was saying.
I asked you.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I said that in the beginning.
That's cool. I'm not.
I'm just saying everybody interpret things differently.
But I'm saying, but this why it's also written in the Bible that the Bible is a sealed book. No man in heaven and no man on earth is worthy to read the book. We wasn't taught that because the deceivers wanted us to read it because, like you said, as long as we interpret it the way we want to, that's not order, that's not structure. So we'll never get nowhere. We're just gonna be a bunch of scattered people listening to interpretations that we feel good about. But the Bible is written in the scriptures. The Bible is a sealed book. And let me bring clarity to that. Not because you dumb, not because you ain't smart, because it's something that you have to do. It's not something that you have to study. The Bible is not a study book. It's not a book of wisdom. It's the book of visions and dreams about what's going to take place at a appointed time. So the only person that was going to be able to unseal the Bible and bring its true interpretations is the one that fulfill it through their
actions. It's talking about what's going on now.
But that's my point. It's talking about what's going on. It ain't talking about the wisdom that you looked up. See what I'm saying? Like that's the Bible is talking about what's happening because that's what the book is written for. It's not written for to give you knowledge. That's all I'm trying to tell you. But since we have been lied to about the book, we putting our own knowledge on there because of the lie we was told. But now the truth is here, and it was told you are not worthy to touch the book.
Right.
Like that's the truth. We are not worthy to touch the book.
So what I'm saying is like it's like
still don't know the truth, man. All we going by hearsay. That's it. Oh man. Hey, you got my fucking sister. Oh my Lord. That shit is fucking crazy, yo.
So pretty much everything that you're saying you got from the Bible that you read. You read the Old Testament or the New Testament?
Well, I get mine from God, brother. I reference the book because that's what people in. Like I read, I'm in a law,
which I agree.
Book of Enoch. So it ain't about the book. It's about your destiny.
Correct. Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
And like I said, even when I had conversations with you before, I never debunked. I think everybody learned differently. Everybody, in their own different shoes. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel as though like when the things that I was learning, and when it comes to like Yahshua, and he's saying like, you can do better works than me, or you can be just like me, pretty much. It like he didn't come with like I'm this man, and this is order, and this is this. Pretty much people didn't know that he was even a high priestess.
So I want to ask you this.
Like you see, like somebody saying there's only one. How there's only one when everything within self is just reaching higher consciousness?
I want to ask you this. Was Christ talking to everybody when he said that? Or was he talking to the disciples?
He was talking to the disciples.
So
Because
everybody,
you got to think the disciples was the only were like the most people that really believed in him.
that's what I'm saying.
Because
So
everybody
everybody can do
was
that.
doubting him. Correct?
So everybody can't do that then. But now everybody got the book and everybody think he's talking to them. That's the problem. That's the problem. And we gotta understand Peter wasn't Christ. The disciples wasn't Christ. Christ was Christ. The disciples wasn't. Now, the disciples became anointed, but they was not Christ. Christ is a title for a position in the priesthood. Moses was Christ. Aaron and Miriam wasn't. See, so that's a position that's given to an individual by God to go get the other angels to light their candlesticks.
So what I'm saying is, so you saying that it's only one person that can do that?
At
That's what.
a time, brother. There's only one at a time, yes. Now, if we already have the order in like it, if we already have order in the earth, there's no need for a Christ. That's why I say Christ is a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. So now we don't have order in the world when it comes to our priesthood. So now we need a Christ. Now, once the priesthood is set up, there's no need for a Christ because someone just gonna come from among us and we're gonna put them in position. But now we need a Christ to bring enlightenment to the world. Because right now everybody have their own light. But God
So look. So you see what I'm saying right there? Everybody has their own light. It's just when they get to their light. Do you see what I'm saying? So if everybody got their own light and everybody can become one, doesn't that mean all of us can become Christ? No?
That's the problem. All of us have our own light. There's only one truth. There's only one light. It's not your truth and it's not mine.
There's only one light when we all combine as one, correct? Because when we all pass, right, and we go to the other side, right, we all go back to one consciousness, correct? We're all God having a human experience in different individuals. So like I'm you, you're me. We're just having two different experiences. Correct?
Yes.
No. That's why some people are in certain positions to make things happen, brother. Just like your body. All your body parts are not the same, but they're working for one head. We're not working for one head. We're not together. You're not working for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the priesthood of God brings order to the earth to get us back to that unity that we are all seeking. Because if you any kind of righteous brother or righteous woman, you seeking unity, you seeking happiness, you seeking peace. We don't have that. All the chakras that we have tapped into, all the third eyes we open, all the pineal glands, we still don't have what? A manifestation of heaven on earth. So as above, so below. So you see order up there, but you see chaos down here. So God is going to intervene with a Christ to show the world what? God is real. The world don't really believe in God. We believe in Jesus. We believe in all kinds of deities. But when it comes to God, we really don't believe in God. So the prophecy is about God showing the world that, damn, I am real. By what? Bringing a begotten son. Now, a lot of people don't believe the prophecy. That's why the prophecy is fulfilled when it happened. And like you said earlier, what's written in the Bible is happening now. It didn't happen back then. So you got Christ and the 12, which in Revelation tell you got the Lamb and 144 because the 12 is being multiplied. And they all with the Lamb. The Lamb not in the sky. The 144 is with the Lamb, which is going to be the government of God. So this prophecy is happening. Now, again, we put all our wisdom on it because of the lies we have been told. But imagine if we were told this. You know what, man? See that Bible? No man is worthy to pick up that book right now. But when God raised up his son, he's going to be the one that's going to bring us enlightenment.
How we don't know that book is actually like making us all not together because we going by a book and like how I see it, like I look at each individual have something to bring to a table. Not everybody, like for example, you have something to bring to a table, probably be in a different way. I might have something to bring to a table, might be in a different way, but we all might be in that light. Like, does it make sense?
Well, yeah, but if you don't have a government, nobody gonna bring it to the table because it's gonna be out of order. So that's what's going on because we don't have a government, we don't have structure, and we don't have order. The gifts that we have, we can't bring them all to the same table. We bring our gifts to other religions, to other schools of thoughts.
But see what you just said, religion, this is the problem. Everybody is so stuck in religion. Religion is the problem.
Well, that's okay, but that's why the truth is going to destroy all religions. You see what I'm saying? Like
I don't think you remember like a while ago, it was like a couple months ago we talked, and I said I love what you're doing because it's positive. I'm for with anything that's positive. I'm with, right? So I'm saying why can't, because you on this level right over here, maybe somebody else probably on the level over here. Why can't we all just bring that to the table and make it all one and forget the religion? Because I see that the religion part is getting people stuck.
Correct. Well, that's because the religion is confusion. But that's what I have put together. That's what I'm doing. That's why I always speak about setting up a government. I'm not setting up a religion. I'm setting up a government.
But see, even when you talk about setting up a government, I believe everybody equal and everybody got free will. So I don't look at it as a government because this is what these colonizers did. They did the same thing. Government. Why do we need a government if we all together as one?
We had a government before the colonizers, brother. We had structure before the colonizers. Now, what
we didn't call it government. What we had was everybody that we had our herbalists, we had our like high priestess in different areas. We had everybody in different, our warriors in different areas. We had certain things in different areas, but we all came together as one. We didn't say government.
Well, brother, you don't have to, it ain't about the word. It's about the structure. You can make it with any word you want. You see what I'm saying? It ain't about the word. It's about, now we all understand a government is simply order, structure. Your body got a government, brother. So everything in life have a government. You know, that's why I say the Bible says Christ comes with the government on his shoulders. So our people need to be governed correctly. Once we govern correctly, we can bring our talents, our resources, our ideas to the same table. But we don't have a government. We got religion, we got schools of thoughts, and we got what? I do whatever I want to do, man. At the same time, you in somebody else's government. You will never escape. The world is built on government, man. You will never escape that.
But what I'm saying is, why do we got to do that? We don't have to do that because I feel as though when you talk, like, you know how people got trauma about things. So when we talk about our government, the United States, it's like bad things come behind that when you think of government. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying for me, I'm not saying for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Don't judge me from what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is why we can't use different terminology to bring the people together. When we talk about government, what other people gonna think is like, here we go again, another government, another this separation, this person doing it, you see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is why we all can't just come together with love. And what this person have, let's bring this to the table. What that person got, let's bring it to the table instead of calling it government. Because when I look at when somebody say government, I look at it as in like how can I explain it? It's just like government just don't make sense if everybody got free will. So we all know what not to do.
You don't have free will in America. That's what I'm saying. That's not reality. That's Babylon.
And look, why we don't have free will? Because we got a government, right? They govern us, right?
Okay, so I'm saying, so in order to get out of this government.
See what I'm saying? We have a government that govern us, and this is why we don't have free will.
Brother, we don't. For one thing, when you deal with government, brother, the only way to get out of this government is for us to create our own government. You will never get from under this government with love. Now, the love that we need to have is the love of the truth.
But when we come together with love, we don't need a government because we all one. Brother,
that's a fairy tale. Everybody ain't the same. Everybody can contribute. Everybody that's a fairy tale. All animals ain't the same. Your body parts ain't the same. Everything ain't the same. Every star ain't the sun. It's a star, but it's not the sun. So everything is not the same. We got to get that out of our vocabulary. That's hypnotized lie talk. That's what I'm gonna say. That's how we have been hypnotized because we are the chosen generation. We are the generation that's gonna bring change. But it's so much that's trying to hold us back. So as long as we say everybody's the same, that's not the reality we live in.
I never said everybody was the same. I never said that.
That's what you just said.
I said why can't we come together in love instead of calling it a government?
Brother, we can call it a kingdom. We can call it whatever we want to call it. We must do it. So whatever alphabet you want to put on it, you want to come up with a name and bring it to the High Council, we might like it. We'll change it.
So see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? We always say, do you want to come up with a name? Why do we always got to put something on something? Why it just can't be?
Okay, but you put a name on it to govern so you can. This is how you teach, brother. This is how you teach people who don't know something. This is how you bring them up. So it's not the name don't matter. It's about what we do.
I think
it ain't about the name, bro. It's about what we do.
I think real recognize real. If a person see a person doing good and doing good works, they will follow. So it shouldn't have to be, we're gonna make this into a government, so then we're gonna do this and do that, and then people follow. That's what I'm saying.
Brother, but listen though. You know why your kids go to school? Because of a government. You know why you got grocery stores? Because it's a government. You know why you can fly all over the world? You know why you can travel? Because it's a government. You know why we got this cell phone right here? Because it's a government. You know how I'm able to talk to you? Because of a government.
And now do you see why I say we not living in free, like we not free at all because of a government?
Well, bro, the thing
so that's what I'm saying. We're using the same terminology that these people has used.
Brother, they took from us. Government means those who control the mind, right?
And the money.
Correct.
So right now, think if we had a righteous government, they was putting good music on television, they was putting good food out, they had good hospitals with herbalists in there, then what? We'll be happy. They wasn't working us 10 to 12 hours a day. You know, everybody was getting paid the right amount of money. We wouldn't have nothing to complain about. It would be a beautiful world. So it's not about the government, it's about the people in position. So when we set up our government, we put the right people in position. It's always about position. Everything is about positions. But we are not playing for position. We playing for our emotions. Because again, a lot of us been raised by our mothers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us come from broken homes. So everything is emotional when it comes to this world right now. You know, but reality ain't that. Reality don't have emotions. It is what it is. So as long as we put the right people in position, we can take care of the people mentally, spiritually, and physically. This is what a government does. But the reason why we so sloppy mentally, spiritually, and physically, because of our government. The stuff they put on TV, the musicians they put out, the food they put in stores, the poison they put in the water and the food. All this is done by the government. The stuff they put in the schools. All this is controlled by the government. So if we want control, if we want to take ownership back, not to just say, oh, I have it, but to actually heal the world. That's the gift black people have been given. We the salt of the world. We bring the flavor. But if we don't have control, we can't bring the flavor. If we don't have a council, we can't start a government. So all this, bro, is really for a bigger purpose of what we all seeking. But we tripping because we don't have understanding. It's like, man, why you tripping? You ain't got understanding, bro. So the spoken word, which is the word of God, is going to bring understanding to our people so we can do the things we need to do. This way bigger than alphabets. Alphabets is just the governor so we all know what we're talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's all alphabet. That's all words are for. Words govern people. If I say this, you know what I'm talking about. That's it. You know, so when we talk about government, man, it's bigger than what we see. It's something that's righteous. It's something that's going to benefit the people. It's not something that's going to take away from the people.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And that's why we need to learn about the African Union. Right now, we got an African Union in Ethiopia. How many Africans know about it? Now, they got us called us, we ain't even Africans no more. That's how ignorant we are. I ain't African. I ain't. That's ignorant, man. That's what you call it.
Well, you got to think Africans ain't African. That was a name that was given to them. Once again, we going by something that people called or made up, and then we believe in that.
Well, brother, that's what I'm saying. It's about government. Like when I say Africa and you say African, we know what we talking about. I'm not black, but if I say I'm for black people, you know what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's for government. It's not. I'm not black at all. You see what I'm saying? Correct. I understand what you're saying. It is a name that was given to us, but if I'm speaking to a majority of people and I say that word, they know what I'm talking about. So that's what it's about. Now, once we get the government, there's so much stuff we can change. We can do that.
Correct.
We can go back to the original. But we all go back to the original at one time. See, if you go back to the original and all your peers don't go back to the original, you going back to the original ain't doing nothing. But if we all go back to the original at one time, because now we have a government that's enforcing us to do it, then what? It'll be beneficial for our kids. It'll be beneficial for our environment. That's like right now, if I get all the wisdom in the world, but if my peers don't get none, then that's not beneficial for my environment.
Yeah, I see what you said.
So a government is gonna make us move at one time because majority rules. That's all the government gonna do.
Correct. She said Africa is the beginning of civilization. Everyone is African. America is the beginning of civilization. Tamiri, Turtle Island.
All I gotta tell you,
I get you, bro. Like I said, I'm just whatever positive, whichever way it go, I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, I've talked to you before. You know what I'm saying? You're a good brother. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's just when I hear government or somebody like, yo, we're gonna do a government, you gotta think of the trauma we have with our own government. You see what I'm saying? So when somebody say it, it triggers something. It's like, here we go with the government stuff. You see what I'm saying now? It's my own individual thing on how I see it, because we've been messed up with this government so long. It's when you hear the words, that's why certain words we gotta unlearn to relearn everything. So certain words bring that trauma to you. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's called trigger word. It's a trigger word.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, man, thanks for having me up. I mean, you're doing a good job. Keep going, bro. And what you just said, the African built America, they are called the Moors. No, they were called the Murs. The Moors is they got that from the Murs. So you got that wrong, sweetie.
The MERS.
The
Hey,
Murs is
okay.
the Murs is Murs.
Oh, yeah,
Moors
it's almost the same
are
word, but you know you got to think about when another man pronounces it. It might say you
no
say
no no no
it
no
might
no.
say
I'm about to
Moor.
tell you. I'm about to tell you. So I did the research on this too. The Murs was us from here. We got infiltrated, and then when they infiltrated us over there in the Moroccan Empire, they changed the name to Moors. So we wouldn't get it. See, all the words is trickery. Some
So
words mean the same thing, but look this up. You're gonna be like, yo, you know what? Okay, I see what he's talking about. But we are the Murs, not Moors. It's two different.
so you saying that the MERS and the Moors are two different people?
Two different people. The
So you
the
saying the Moors
Moors,
come from Morocco and the MERS come from America?
there you go. But then they switched everything. And then they took the Murs out and then made it to the Moors. Now you said more. Now she's saying more, and then she don't even know what she's talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, but you saying the Moors are from Morocco? But the Moors, if you talk to a real Moor, a Moor trace their roots to Abyssinia.
See, myrrh. When you think of the word myrrh, that comes from us. You see what I'm saying? So you got to look up what that is, and then when you see Moors, that's just like I did a documentary. I watched a documentary on the two and what the two are. The Moors. These people are from Africa. They from over that way. So when we got infiltrated, they changed a lot of our words, a lot of our structures, a lot of everything. So then when we say, oh no, I'm a Moor, we don't even know we're calling ourselves somebody else when we are the Murs. Murs. Look it up. And then tell me if I'm wrong.
I say, bro, I don't really call myself a Moor, so but
I'm just saying that
when it comes to words,
if they look,
bro, our ancestors use words that they felt that they connected themselves to. Like even in an area like today in America, we got all kind of different gangs and stuff. We had it back then. So we had the same people call themselves different names. You see what
well,
I'm saying?
see,
So history
yeah,
is hard to play with.
yeah, but see, what I'm saying is they took Murs out. Why would they take the Murs out? It's the same thing what they did with Jesus' name. His name is Yeshua, but now the letter J and this letter. Yeah, I get you. Same thing with this situation. They took that out, and then so that way we got infiltrated. It was people that wasn't us that infiltrated us, and then they changed the name. And then when we go back to do status correction, we put in more, but we're not more. We are Mur, and it's spelled two different ways.
You got me on that, bro. Like I say, man, when it comes to
All I'm
words,
saying,
man.
look at all I'm saying, look it up because this is what I say. Our people, we talk and then it sounds correct, but it's like okay, we are the Moors, but they misinterpreting it. We're not Moors. We are Murs. The Moors that everybody is claiming to be is another entity.
That's why I say I don't claim to be a Moor. The real Moors trace their roots back to Abyssinia, which is Ethiopia. And like I say, when you deal with Ethiopia, man, you're dealing with a very ancient place. You're dealing with this is where the whole Christ story come from. This is where the first paintings of Christ was painted, and the world nobody talks about this. People talk about Israel, Jerusalem before they talk about Ethiopia. So they have hidden stuff from us in plain sight. The only country with their name on the Bible is Ethiopia. It's the Ethiopian Bible.
So
So
right,
that
I get you.
the reason why that is because that's where the Bible comes from. But again, these things are swept under the rug. This is why they created a fake Israel. This is why they sent the Jews back home.
Correct. So
The
the
fake.
first said,
So it's a lot of things, man, that's hidden right in front of our face.
so
And like I say, we want to make it complicated and hard when it's really pretty easy.
right,
Even when you deal with the throne of David, we can go to the grave sites of these men that sat on David's throne.
So
You don't have David's throne nowhere else in the world. You have it in Ethiopia. So all these points, man, is valid points. These are not just points you can be like, oh yeah, nah. These are valid points. The word Negus, Ethiopia, what they call us, Nigga. So, like you said, they always switch up the words to throw history off, but proof is always in the pudding.
so
I can see.
so this is my thing. So me correcting a situation, because it is true. Moors and Murs are two different things, right? So me saying that and correcting my sister on that, I gotta be like more of a division, because I'm correcting. Because at one point,
brother, I can't. When you talk about stuff like that, I can't say if you're wrong or right, because that could be true. But the thing about it, I don't believe. Now, I haven't did too much research to really. That's why I only speak on the Africans coming to other places. Now, some people say we was here. It is a history where people came here way before slavery. Because slavery started in the 1800s. A lot of people think slavery started in the 1600s. That's a lie. But people came to America for free land. That's why they call it the land of the free. Freemason. See what I'm saying? So you don't have to be a part of a religious society, because in other countries, you can't be what kind of religion you want to be. You will get unalive for being a Christian. You will get unalive for being a Muslim. This is where all the Crusades came in. So when people start coming to America before slavery, it was to escape persecution, so they could be a Freemason. They can be free to build what they want to build. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the land of America became. That's why you have a boiling pot here of all nations. You see what I'm saying? So when they say black man, the biblical black man is from East Africa. There's no argument about that. You know, now if you want to say black people are from here, hey, I can't, I don't know what was here. But I know when you talk about this Bible, you talking about those that's going to fulfill prophecy, they're from East Africa. You know where the gorilla from? East Africa. You know where the baddest lion from? East Africa. You know where the baddest animals was from? East Africa.
But see, now I'm gonna say this. That's a lie, because when before the colonizers came here, the jaguars from America. All the animals you see over there, camels, was from America. When you look in the old world, it was camels in Chicago, which is Cairo. You see what I'm saying? So when they changed all the structure, they did a number on everything.
Brother, when you deal with government buildings, do you see a jaguar? Do you see a lion?
Say it again.
When you see government buildings, do you see a jaguar or do you see a lion?
I see the lion.
Okay, then there's a reason for that. So King Kong is a silverback, was a gorilla. I can't say silverback, but you know where the gorillas come from? The most intelligent animal down there on the face of the earth? Africa. You know where the biggest animals come from?
No, I hear you, but I'm telling you what my study was and what the research I have done, and then not only that, I saw other people do the studies, and they were saying they factual. Mostly all the animals that's over there were over here. It's just like they took our artifacts and placed it over there and said that certain places is over there was Israel, when we all know America is Egypt.
Brother, the white man ain't that powerful, man. He ain't just remove all the animals, bro. Come on now, man.
Bro, so look it up. The jaguar comes from America. I'm not saying the
jaguar. We talking about all the other animals, man.
Bro, mostly all of them come from here. Look up the camel. Mostly all of them come from here.
No, bro. They'll still be here.
All right. My thing is, I want you to, because I gotta go. You look it up, the Murs and the Moor thing, and then you look up where all the animals really come from. I guarantee you, they're gonna say come from America.
It's crazy. When you watch all the Disney movies, all they had was African animals. You know,
That's what they want you to think.
so it's not what it wants. It's what we know. These the same African animals. When you talking about all Disney movies, all the movies, all the characters, it was mostly African animals, especially Lion King. You got the hyena. And matter of fact, when you deal with all African animals, they are much greater, faster, and stronger than all the other than they all cousins. Like you got the American jaguar, you got the African jaguar. It's bigger, faster, and stronger. You got the American alligator, you got the Nile crocodile. It's bigger, faster, and stronger. You see what I'm saying? So everything in Africa, you do have other stuff that could be cousins or related, but the ones that's in Africa are bigger, faster, and stronger. That's all we saying. They ain't changed. You can't change that.
No. I'm
mountain lion over here, the African lion. You can't compare it to the mountain lion over here. It's a way bigger cousin. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about things in reality, the trees in Africa, you might have the same tree over here, but in Africa, it's a bigger tree. It produces bigger fruit just because it's in Africa. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then this is not something that we have to study. We can see this for ourselves. These are things we can actually see. The apes, the planet of the apes. Where the apes come from? Africa. So, like, you know, it's just certain stuff, man, that they put in front of our face, and that's why they keep watering us down with false information. Stuff that just gonna confuse us. It's gonna keep us in the world of confusion. That's why some people, now you got black people. At first, Marcus Garvey was here in the 1920s, had millions of black people ready to go back to Africa.
So my thing is, when I watched the old, it was like a documentary I watched, right? And this was in Chicago. I saw camels in Chicago, bro. This one, Cairo, was there before they made it and split it and did all that, right? So my thing is, where did the camels go then? Now they got them over there in the Middle East.
Brother, they got gorillas over here. How you think they got over here? The same way people got over here on ships.
So my thing is, why they couldn't ship them over there then?
Ship what over there?
So what I'm saying is, you saying that they got ships and they could have shipped them over here. So my thing is, how it couldn't been reversed?
Because you have too many. Because if the camels are originally from here, you will have pictures and all kind of stuff with people with camels, bro. You will have proof. Just like you got proof is still in Africa about the original and what original animals that's been in Africa. The African dog is the baddest dog in the world. No dog can beat the African dog. You see what I'm saying? The African dog better than any K9, any German Shepherd you can get. You see what I'm saying? But we won't talk about the African dog. So, you know, it's like I say, man, Africa has the biggest, you know, the best, the strongest. It's just that's everybody.
All I'm saying, look, all I'm saying, everything that I'm saying, all I'm saying, and whoever don't believe it, want to believe it, whatever. I really don't care. But my thing is, you can look it up. The results is there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You can just look it up for yourself. And then you'll start to see the truth when you start to dig. You'll be like, oh, snap, this animal from here, that animal from here, this animal from here. And then when you look, and you be like, if all these animals from here, why they not here? Same way they colonized us, they colonized the animals. Same thing.
So you telling me the hyena is from America?
Bro, look it up. I'm not gonna keep saying it. I'm just gonna say, look it up. Do the research. Everybody do the research for themselves. They'll start to see most animals are from here.
Okay, bro. You know the birds with the best hairdos, they are from Africa.
Could be.
I know could be. So you know why these people came over here doing all these hairdos? Because they seen it on the birds.
She said, I believed all the information to colonizing. I'm telling you the opposite. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Not you. I'm not talking about you, but I'm just reading the comment. But like I said, man, you can look it up, man. I'm a drop down, man. Got some things to do. And like I said, man, I love what you're doing, bro. Keep it up, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming up, bro. Appreciate your humbleness, man. Salute to you. But I ain't gonna stop, brother. Salute to you.
All right, man.
All right, peace, peace. Man, this really want to be from America, y'all. It's really getting out of hand. You know, to have the facts, like I said, man, you deal with any animal, y'all. If any African animal got a cousin in America, that African animal is bigger, stronger, and faster. Now that don't take nothing from his cousin. His cousin is still his cousin. You know, you can have a cousin. Your cousin might be bigger, stronger, and faster than you. That's still your cousin, but you gotta accept it. He's stronger, he's faster. You know, so like I say, a lot of, when it comes to, man, this information that's in the world, this Babylon is really separating us. We don't even want to go back to Africa no more. Africa has so much to offer, where every nation has their hand out to Africa, but the African American. Every nation has their hand to Africa, but the African American and the Africans that's living there. Every nation. The whole world know Africa has so much to give, but the African American steady trying to get from America. The people that run America is benefiting off Africa. Let me say it again. The people that run America is benefiting off Africa. But yet, we are so caught up on America as it's going to provide everything for us. If America got everything, why they getting gold from Africa? Do you know why you drive the Tesla? The Tesla car that Americans drive right now is because of minerals that come from Africa. The minerals that come from Africa is the reason why the Americans driving the Tesla car right now. Why not get minerals from America to build? Why Elon Musk had to get his stuff from Africa? Why he didn't get it from America? Why Trump? You think if they had those minerals here, nobody would be digging them up? In America? The Wild Wild West? Man, let's be serious, y'all. It's like I say, so it's a reason for everything. And that's why I say there's no lie without the truth. So it's a reason why they call us African Americans. Africa is huge. What part of Africa? East, west, north, south? That matters. Especially when it comes to history. Now, it don't matter when it comes to love one another, but it matters when it comes to historical facts. So it's no lie without the truth. So it's a reason why they call us African Americans. They just don't tell us where we come from in Africa. Because they don't want you to know that. That's the bottom line. They don't want you to know where you come from in Africa. Because they don't want you to reconnect back to nothing. Because they have done a lot of stuff in Africa. And now got the people that's going to restore Africa not even want to go back. They did a hell of a good job. That's all. They did a hell of a good job. And all that lets me know, if deception can be that strong, then I know how powerful the truth is. If deception can be this powerful, that just further lets me know the truth is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. That automatically lets me know that. Because, man, this lie, and God, bro, we tripping on a whole nother level, man. On a whole nother level, we are tripping. Saying we trying to make America the heaven. Ain't none. For instance, I went to Chicago. I don't know how people like Chicago. As I say, it's all about the people, y'all. People are stuck places because of the people. You will stay in a bad place for the people. When I went to Chicago, it's no way. Why would you want to be in a blizzard? That's not even out. They got certain animals can't stand the cold. It's in our DNA not to be in cold. It's in our DNA not to. They call us sun people. Certain animals won't survive in the cold. So people are literally in Chicago in a blizzard talking about, man, this city jumping. Man, that's one of the most, man, I'd rather be in New York than Chicago any day. And I didn't stay too long, so I didn't have all the experiences in the world. But I didn't like Chicago one bit, man. I'd have been to a few cities. I didn't like Chicago one bit. I'd rather be in Alabama. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, man, just and that's how you know it don't take long for a generation to change. It don't take long. It don't take 1,000 years for a generation to change, man. No. You know. But for us to just degrade Africa, the way we are degrading Africa is by design. Trust me, this is by design. That's why when the Marcus Garvey movement was shut down by the CIA, they introduced religion that made you stay in America. I don't know how much I can stress that. After Marcus Garvey, they introduced religions that stop you from going to Africa. That's when the Nation of Islam came in to what? Set up an empire in America. That's when the Moorish science came in. So what? You can say you what? You're a Moor and you established in America. That's when Christianity really came in heavy. In 1930, everybody wasn't going to no damn church. You wasn't going to no, in the 1930s, y'all, people was not going to church like that. Church was not, well, people just was really, really into church like that. Nah. That's why when that movie came out with that when he went, Noah, he said I had coffee. What is it called? The Green Pastor? Where they had God as a black man? When did church teach God as a black man? You see what I'm saying? So they was doing plays about God being a black man. So 1936. So in the 1930s, we wasn't into Christianity and Catholic and Jehovah's Witness like that. You didn't have that in the 1930s. But after Marcus Garvey movement, all these religions sprung up and put strongholds on our minds in no other way. It put a lot of strongholds on our minds. And once you became a Jehovah's Witness, once you became a Catholic, once you became Christian, once you became Moorish, once you became the Nation of Islam, you turned your face from Africa. You immediately turned your face from Africa once you entered these schools of thoughts. And since the 1930s, on to what? Damn near 100 years later, now what? You have the mind frame of Africa can never do nothing for me because it would have helped me out back then. That's our mind frame. Because of what? All the schools of thought that have been influenced by the CIA. All these schools of thoughts have been influenced by the CIA. And so none of us look to Africa no more. Your parents ain't looked to Africa. If your parents was a Muslim, if your parents was a Christian, if your parents were Jehovah's Witness, they ain't looked to no damn Africa. All our religious leaders, we was fighting for American freedom. We should have been fighting to get the hell out of America. Like, you think we can't go have an NFL in Africa? You think we can't have an NBA in Africa? So they already got soccer. You think we can't have baseball in Africa? Literally, you think we can't do that? We is the face of sports. But nah, we can't leave America. We gotta do that. We gotta do it here. You know, we gotta do that here. You know. So y'all, like I say, man, it's just y'all. We for us to be turning our face from Africa like that, the motherland at that. We call it the motherland. We talking about the biggest trees, the biggest fruits, the biggest animals, the most beautiful mountains, the biggest volcanoes, the highest mountains. All this stuff is right there in Africa. And we'll go. I'm going to Paris next month. And you know, like I said, if you're not awakened, you don't have that food for thought. That's just the way you're gonna think. You know, you will think that way. You know, but like I say, y'all, we here to reverse the game. We here to bring in the truth. You know, Africa is gonna heal the nations, and the righteous government of God is gonna heal the nations. You know,
It's no secret. As a matter of fact, Ethiopia has got one of the biggest dams that produce what? The most electricity in the world? Okay. Didn't Ethiopia get the biggest dam?
Yeah.
That produced the most electricity in the world? So the most electricity in the world is coming from Africa. The most electricity in the world. What more y'all want? What more do you want? Like, what more do you want? So you tell me Africa, that has the less lights and the less technology in the world, now they got the biggest dam that produce the most? And y'all talking about America? Man, why you think America been fighting the Middle East? Because that's where the oil at. They ain't got no oil here. They got a little bit of oil, but they ain't got a lot. Because if they did, then the Middle East, they wouldn't be worried about the Middle East. That's what I say, man. So that's what I say. It's by design, y'all. It's a CIA design to get us off of Africa. It's by design. Trust me, it's by design. And now you see us hating Africa. I thought I'd never see that day we hate Africa. You know, I thought I'd never. And Christ, everybody know the Christ story don't come from America. I know they trying to make it. They trying to make it horrible. Christ, you really can't change that one now. Christ don't come from America. Christ don't come from America. There's no way, shape, and form. You can't. Yeah, Christ don't come from America. No. You know. But yeah, I'm closing out, man. It's 1 o'clock now, so it's a little foggy and a little rainy out there. That's actually why I went live. But guess I'll catch y'all next time, man. I hope we get a good talk about Christ is not spirit. A lot of people is using that to strengthen their lie, but we here to demolish it. We here to dash it in pieces. So as always, brothers and sisters, I hope the Father has circumcised your hearts and ears for the message. Peace and blessings. I'm out.